Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming and joining us. This is Susie, and I'm Dr. Gail, and welcome to All About Aliens and ETs. Today, we're going to be all discussing about all these things that have been happening to you. And I'm going to say hello to some people who are here, and then I'll explain about what the show's going to be about today. And we'll probably be making it a regular if it all goes well. So, anyway, oh, hey, Pamela. Hey, Butterfly Kisses. Hey, Juno. Juno's going to be coming on with us soon, so we're going to send her an email that she can come on, and she's going to be talking about her ET experiences and some dreams that she's been having. T-Barb. Let's see, who else is here? Dream Journey 1. Hey, Encore. Hey, T-Barb. Hey, Dream Detective Kate. Hey, that's a great name. All right, thanks for joining us today. And let me explain all about aliens and ETs. Now, I have done this show several times and been able to answer, hey, White Dragon, answer some questions that people have. And we're going to kind of make this a weekly event where I'm available. Hey, Rebecca. And this will be where you can come in and ask your questions. And also, we'll bring in one or two people. Hey, Spirit Watcher, Suzanne. We're going to bring on one or two people that you can talk about what's going on in your life, what dreams you have, what ET experiences you've had. And you don't have to show your face or be YouTube ready. I'm just going to listen to your voice and, hey, son of what? And it'll be easier for me to ask questions and we can experience or talk about what that experience is about. It also is going to help other people understand what's happening to them. If we're always keeping this all to ourselves and not talking about it, we can't join together and discuss what's happening and find the commonality in it all. Hey, Chromosome. Hey, Emerald Buddha. Thanks for joining us today. So, first off, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the book Symmetry that Preston Dennett wrote. And it's when we started off and I asked a question about the drafts. And I don't think people knew why I asked the question about the drafts, but in the book it says there are animals that did not evolve here, such as giraffes. They did not evolve on Earth. Giraffes don't come from here. They were put here. So that's why I started asking, and Dolly did a great job in explaining a lot about that. But I didn't think y'all understood where that question came from. So that's why I thought I would correct that and talk to you about that. But anyway, that's the story about the giraffes is they didn't evolve here. They were just put here. And so I thought that was extremely interesting. And we talked about it a little bit. So anyway, we're going to start answering some questions. Let's see. Juno, if you go ahead and email us at, I'm going to put it up here.
Yeah, I'll put it up.
It's going to be allaboutets@gmail.com. And if you'll email us, and we'll invite you on. allaboutets@gmail.com. I can't believe I got it right the first time. That's amazing. So anyway, Gina, go ahead and email us so we can go ahead and bring you on. She's going to talk to us about her latest dreams that she's been having, and it is ET related. So we're going to go into the questions of the chat while Juno's coming to join us. Now, anybody else who wants to come on the show and talk about that, and we can go into more detail about what's going on with you, please go ahead and let me know. We can take one or two on and talk about your experiences, and everybody will be interested in that because some people really are hesitant about what's going on with them, or they think they're crazy, and most likely they're not. So, all right, so let's go ahead with the first question. Hey, Pamela. All right, let's see. Please comment on Dolly's prediction related to C. Hey, Pamela, thanks for joining us. Oh, Lord, I was afraid of that kind of question. Thanks, Jimmy. You sent an email. Okay, thank you. So anyway, Pamela, this is how I feel about this without not having everybody question it. I'm kind of going to be tiptoeing about the subject. I feel like I've been hearing this kind of information since before 2000, that we're supposed to stock up, we're supposed to get silver, we're supposed to be doing all these things to get ready for an event. And at that time, we got scared about it. I don't get scared about it anymore. I've come to terms with it that if it happens, I might be leaving my body and going into another body and going to another planet. How exciting would that be? So, if some type of event does happen like that, I'm ready to go. It might not be the right attitude I'm supposed to have, but that's my attitude now. I'm not going to spend my life right now worried about this kind of events. I'm just going to enjoy my life, and if it happens, it happens. So I hope that helps, Pamela. That's my opinion on it. And other people, if you want to go look at that video, Dolly goes into how you should be preparing for this event. And it's real interesting. So anyway, all right. Thanks, Pamela. All right. I've also got some cards here. I've pulled out the Mystic Martian cards, and I have pulled out, of course, my favorite ones, the Starseed Oracle deck. And today I pulled out the Moon Magic cards because the full moon last night was incredible. It was beautiful. So I felt like I was going to pull that out. But it looks like Juno's here. Like, see her trying to come on. There she comes. Hey, Juno. Kids, oh, there you go. It's a little.
I'm here, but no camera.
Okay, all right, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. And anybody else who might want to come on and talk about their experiences, you don't have to show your face. I do really good, or do just as good or better, just listening to your voice. So, okay, Juno, you have emailed me several times lately about your dream. But first, what I really want to talk first about is that last time you were on the show, you talked about your experience about driving through Arizona. And could you go into that a little bit first? So some of the people here probably haven't heard that story. And I just think that story is fascinating. And then we'll go into your dreams.
When I went to the restaurant, you mean?
Yeah, when you're trying to find a place to stop.
That was I was driving from Arizona, but it happened in California.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, okay. Well,
Although a lot of weird things happen in Arizona, but
yeah.
yeah, it was after when you drive. I had driven from Sedona to I was going to Laguna Beach, and you go through a long stretch of desert where there's not anything, and then the first population you come into, and this was like 20 some years ago, was I think it's Indio, and I had stopped at a convenience store, and I was going to get out of my car to use the restroom and maybe grab a bite to eat or something, and as soon as I opened the door, I just felt this energy of don't get out. And it wasn't like I thought I didn't think somebody was there with a gun going to shoot me or anything, but I just had this really weird sense of it's not safe here. Don't get out. And so I shut my door real quick, and I was really hungry, and I really had to go to the bathroom, and I'm driving down the road, and I stopped at it was like one of those big truck stops that has different restaurants and things all there together. And when I went into the place, and it was a taco restaurant, when I opened the door, it was like in a movie. Every head turned and looked at me, and they appeared as reptilians, which really freaked me out. Like I could see tongues flicking and tails quivering, and I left right away and I got in my car. But what was really weird, it was on, I'm sorry.
I think we all would have probably run.
Well, I'd never really experienced anything like that before. And it was on the road where you can see the big dinosaurs that are in the Pee Wee Herman movie. I think it's in the Cajon Pass or whatever. And, so I had those on my mind, but I was just, it was like, I was really real hungry. I really had to go to the bathroom, but I was not going to stay in that place. And what was funny was in the parking lot, I was being very cautious about where I parked, don't park between trucks. You know what I mean? Don't leave yourself vulnerable. And here, going into the public place was where I was the most vulnerable feeling. But, and until you came on, I thought it was just my silly imagination.
Right. And it wasn't your silly imagination. I just think you had the ability to see that. Not everybody probably driving up there would have been able to see that. They probably would have gone on in and going, oh, this energy feels weird, but I'm going to the bathroom getting something to eat. But you opened the door and you saw it. And that,
Yeah, and it was weird that they all turned in unison. You know how like fish all swim or birds fly in the same, like, that mentality of them moving as one thing. And what
yeah,
was weird is I still stopped at the place with all the dinosaurs, which really seems kind of crazy that I would go see the giant dinosaurs, reptilians. But I felt safer there, and I stopped and I ate there at the restaurant and stuff. But a short time after that, I was working with a chiropractor who also did. Worked with guides and stuff, and I told him what happened, and he said that area is known for having reptilian uh, people, beings there or whatever. So he kind of validated what had happened. But
did he say and stay away from there?
yeah, he told me don't do that. Maybe not do that again. So, and I never have been through there again. So yeah, I don't like to say the name of the restaurant because I don't want to
Yeah,
have anything come on me. But it was pretty weird to have.
or everybody going there to see for themselves.
Yeah, yeah. So,
All right, well, let's get into your dreams because you've been having some interesting dreams here lately.
well, last week when you had Preston on, I had a really busy day the day before, and so I laid down and took a nap before your show came on. And during the nap, I had this dream that this older gentleman was working on, like, with it seemed like with essential oils, and he was working on the back of my head and the back of my neck. I was fully clothed. It wasn't like a typical massage table kind of situation. And during this, and he had some kind of an implement he was using. It was behind me, so I don't know what it was, but it felt like there was some kind of a tool he was using. And at the same time, I was getting this download of like histories of past civilizations. And I don't know if they were on this planet or on other planets, but it was like all this information was coming in. And
I'm,
then,
I'm getting that that was from a lot of your past lives on planets.
yeah, it could be. It wasn't like real defined, but
Right.
it was like if you took a bird's eye view and you could see a civilization. It's like I was seeing it from a big picture of these different civilizations. And after the procedure was done, I got up and I was in this. It was an all wood, like a one-story building, and it seemed to me it was somewhere in Arizona, which is where I live. And there was this group of people waiting for me when I came out of this treatment area, and men and women and or beings, and they were all like congratulating me. It was like they had some kind of an informal ceremony for me to celebrate what I had just been through, that it was some kind of an initiation or something
There
like, but
was,
it wasn't like a big, it wasn't like a big ceremony, like, giving a speech or going up and down aisles or anything, but they were really acknowledging it. And they said that I was bringing knowledge to their group somehow. And
yeah.
when I looked down, I had a ring of keys in my hand that were silver keys, but there was one key that was 3 times as big as the other keys, and it was a purplish blue metallic. And it wasn't shaped like any of the other keys. It was really unusual. Um, and I thought that was pretty interesting.
Hmm.
So, and then they were welcoming me into the family, and they were talking about future events that they had invited me to, and I had agreed to join them at these events. Well, then shortly after that, your program was on and Preston was on, and I realized that he was the person who was working on the back of my head and my neck.
And I emailed Preston about that, and he says, it's not the first time somebody has seen me do some kind of healing. so, but he didn't know. He said he didn't remember it. But I thought that was interesting that it's not the first time somebody has seen Preston doing something like that. And you did agree to meeting them again and at different places. And it looked like to me you're holding the key to open up a lot of information. That's what I'm getting. Is that it's up to you. Um,
Well, and I had a follow-up dream about the key. I don't know if I told you. I think I told you.
mhm,
Well, what was curious was, and I can't remember which night was which, but within that, in the span of, when you were last on with Preston, I have the Galactic Heritage deck,
mhm.
and which you're familiar with. And I was sitting there thinking, okay, if I'm supposed to be connecting with these beings or whatever, and I'm willing to do the work, if I'm here to do something, show me what I'm supposed to do. And I went through and I pick out of the middle of the deck. I don't deal off the top of the deck or anything. And I picked 4 cards, but actually two. I actually had 6 cards, but 2 that stuck out to me. One was card 77 being the mentors, which is either agreeing to be a mentor to others or agreeing to be mentored, which I thought went along with that dream. And another one was about working with spiritual technology, which includes crystals and things like that. And I'm in the process this week of getting a whole bunch of crystals from the gem show that I've been directed to get to be able to offer for people in our community if they're interested in those. So I just found interesting that would all come together at the same time. But so I communicate with Danny Shea, and I had emailed him about this dream with the keys, and then he did on his Sunday with Spirit. One of the cards that he pulled up was a specific hermit card that I hadn't seen before in this deck, and it had a bunch of keys on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I live like a hermit, so I told him I thought that was kind of interesting. And he pointed out to me, he said, well, you're looking at the keys, but I'm thinking about what does that key open, or what do those keys open?
That's what I'm looking at too. I'm strongly attracted to the keys.
So that night, Sunday night, after, that interchange with Danny, I had this dream that I was preparing for this new job at this place.
Wait a minute, Juno. Hold on.
Okay.
I've got a big hit. It says, you hold the keys to open it up if you want to.
Okay. Well, that kind of played out in this dream because thank you for that, Dr. Gail. In this next dream, I was preparing for this job that I wanted at this specific place. And somehow I procured the key to the office that this new job was in. And I got there before the place opened, and I let myself in, and I checked out the whole place, and I was like looking at how they did everything and whatever. And then when the boss and the other coworkers came in, they were a little surprised to see me there, but not shocked. And they accepted me being there and said, okay, you're going to work with us. And what do you want to do? And I thought that was pretty interesting. And what my first job was to monitor all the donuts and pastries that all the people there ate. And the way I could tell was by seeing the sugar that was around their mouth.
I hope you didn't monitor me.
Well, what was funny, because on Sunday, Sterling had talked about how hybrids like sugar. That he'll say that a lot of them will be at me too, that they'll be in Starbucks, and then you think of Edgar from the Men in Black movie, couldn't have enough sugar,
Right.
and so I thought that was really funny that that was my job, was to go around and look at everybody's lips, but they were really they were looking at me and really observing me, and they were really looking at my teeth, like they even reached out to touch my teeth, and I have dentures. So it was like they were curious about what, there was something different about me because I didn't have natural teeth. So I don't know if that means anything.
I don't think that means anything. I think that was just a curiosity thing, just like you might want to go touch their skin or their hair. I think that's all that the teeth thing was about, was just that those are dentures. What are those things in her mouth? That kind of thing is how I felt. So, but anyway, that is interesting. But that's immediately what I got is you hold the keys and you can open it up it's up to you to open it up if you want to. So that's when I was asking you if you had said yes to them yet, because Mary and I have both talked about in our past that we physically or verbally had to say yes to work with the ETs. Both of us had different experiences doing that, but it did have to come out of our mouth that we had to say yes. And I think that's what they're waiting for you to do, is you hold the key. Do you want to work with this? And if you do, say yes. And I think that's a lot what this is about. And the monitoring of the sugar, I think that might be one of the jobs they're wanting you to do, is that you're going to be monitoring people's sugar intake. You're going to be going out there with, like Dolly talked about it the last, she goes together with the children, and they do a lot of monitoring people. And So maybe your job's going to be monitoring the sugar intake. Don't come to my house and monitor my.
I'm going to be putting you on the big screen and looking at your lips when you're on TV.
Right?
And I'm a sugar addict myself. That's my, the one thing I can't give up. But when I was doing and I've played with the Galactic Heritage cards a couple times since then. And when I do say I'm here to help. If you want to, this is why I'm doing these cards. Is if there's information for me to help, show me what to do. So I feel like I'm saying yes.
Yeah,
Is that?
well, no, it's not your feeling, because I kept thinking I was saying yes the whole time too. I felt like I was saying yes. You physically have to say it out of your mouth. Yes, I want to help. That kind of thing. Yes.
Okay.
And that's what they're wanting to hear, because we have free will. You don't have to help them. So they want you to say, yes, I want to help, or no, I don't want to help. So that's what they're waiting. I feel like that's what they're waiting for you. You're holding the key to that. And you can go ahead and say it now, and that they will hear it. And I think that then that key's going to open something.
Okay. Well, yes, I'm here to help, and I mean, this is all pretty far out for me. I guess everybody goes through the
Oh
same.
my gosh, you're talking about far out. I thought I had a brain tumor.
Well, I'm sure my family would think I had a brain tumor, but but when I thought it was really interesting that I was prepared. Like, I wanted that job so much that I somehow found the key to get into the office, and I was there ready to work before they even got there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they just need to hear you say, yes, I want to do this. I want to work with you. I want to help. So that's all they needed to hear, because we have free will. You have the choice not to. You might have walked in, they might have saw you in there and they were shocked, and that you were ready to work, but they were like, does she really like it? Just like free will. Do you really like it? Do you really want to do this? Do you really want to help? But they just need to hear it. And I think that key's going to open up a lot for you.
okay, well, thanks for listening to me, everybody. And I'm really stepping out in a lot of faith and trust, and I'm really grateful to this community for being supportive, and
Yeah,
and I even had pardon me.
Yeah, this whole community is really stepping out, and that's what I'm trying to create a platform, so it's okay for us to all talk about it and share this information. It makes us more comfortable, and knowing that you do have a place to talk about it. We do understand we're all going through it, so we can go through this together. We're going to be stronger together.
Right. And this is a little off topic, but it's maybe not. A couple nights ago, I had a dream. I grew up in the Buffalo, New York area, and I had a dream of a natural disaster. It was like a big wildfire, but it was like a mudslide, but the mud was bringing the fire. It wasn't from rain, it was from fire. And then they turned around. They had an earthquake the next morning, which is really unusual to have an earthquake in that area. So I just found that really curious.
Well, here in California, they have mudslides, but the reason they're mudslides is because they did have the fires and they don't have the trees to
Right.
stop the mudslides. So that would be very appropriate for you to see that. So then they had the earthquake. I get a lot of that myself, and I don't understand what it means. And then I'll start looking at it on the map going, why am I seeing this? Why am I dreaming this? And sure enough, there's something that happens. I don't want to be that person who predicts those things that are coming about.
Right.
And I keep wondering why, sometimes why I'm showing it, but they always come true, whatever I'm seeing. So just pay attention to that. I'm not the person who's going to want to scare people and go, this is what I'm seeing. Because what if it doesn't come true?
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I don't want to, and it's like my dreams have really stepped up in the last month or so, and they've done very vivid and very detailed. And anyway, but thanks for listening, everybody.
Yes, and congratulations. You're going to be working with them. You're going to take that key and open that door and let it all flood in. They just need to hear you say yes.
Okay. I like sugar, so that'll be easy for me to look for because I know what it looks like.
I'm surprised they didn't put me in charge of that myself. Instead of, my first job was taking out the implants. Well, first job was rescuing ETs out of places, but my first medical or whatever job was the implants. Sugar would have been kind of fun, but I had to look in the mirror too many times on that one, I think. Okay. All right. Thanks, Gina. I appreciate it. And that helps everybody listening to you, and also that they can come on with their own experience. So if anybody else, we can go ahead and look at some questions if there are any. I think everybody was intently watching Juno on here. Um, but let's go ahead. And Juno, you can go ahead and leave and get back in the chat. I appreciate you coming on. You were my first person that Susie and I brought on, first person of the maiden voyage of this show. Thank you. All right, so let's go to the chat. Are there any more questions, Susie?
I don't see any more questions right now.
All right, does anybody want to have a card, or anybody want to pull a card, or anybody want to ask questions about Juno's experience? So, let's see. I see T-Bar. There's nothing wrong with being prepared anytime, whether you think something is going to happen or not. Exactly. There's nothing wrong with that being prepared, T-Bar. And don't let what I say prevent people from doing that, getting ready. I'm just saying that that's just my way of handling things like that. So don't go by what I'm saying. You go and do what is comfortable for you. And thanks for that comment, T-Barb. So if you're wanting to get ready and get prepared, go ahead and get prepared for an event. Dolly's preventing something coming in within a couple of years. And so go ahead and get prepared for it. All right. So anyway, all right, what's next? Hey, Seascape, card, please. All right, let's see. I'm going to pull out of the Mystic Martian for you. And let's see what we got here. Oh, the Sirius B. Responsibilities, lessons, growing up. Okay. Seascape, it's amazing that you pulled a water planet card, and it's talking about your responsibilities, your lessons, and growing up. I feel like though that you have reached the growing up part. I feel like you've already done the growing up. I feel like you are there, and I think that's what this card is talking about. That you have developed, or you're doing, have the responsibilities, and you've learned your lessons, and now you have grown up. So you can take a walk in pride because you are now have experienced enough that they consider you grown up. So there you go, Seascape. Okay, next. Hey, Rebecca, me a card. Okay. All right, let's see what I got. I'm going to pull a card out of the Moon Magic for you. As I said, it was a full moon. It was beautiful here in Mount Shasta last night, and I just felt like I needed to pull out these Moon Magic cards. Let's see what I got here. Okay, this is the card I pulled. Isn't that beautiful? These cards are always so pretty. And it says, life is conspiring for me. And this is the last quarter moon. Life is conspiring for me. So what it's saying is that you have a life that has already kind of been, well, I would say it's a good life. They're conspiring, your guides, your angels, your ETs. Everybody is coming together to create you a good life. So they are your team, and they are conspiring to make sure you have a good life and you get the information and the lessons on this earth that you need. Okay, there you go, Rebecca. All right, next. Hey, Starry Night Seeker, I would love a card, please. All right. Huh, for some reason they're asking me to pull a card that it didn't pull out. The one they need to get is Sacred Geometry Activation. Let me pull out of here. Let me see what we got here. I haven't shuffled these yet. I shuffled the other three, but it's not the cards they want me to pull for you. Let me see what we got here. Pull out the middle of the deck, which I do most of the time. Prosperity. Ooh, what a great card. Prosperity. These cards are also pretty. And it says, the frequency of prosperity supports our feeling of well-being by allowing the inclusion of everything that makes our body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit sing. It invites us to express ourselves, enjoy, and celebrate the abundance and riches that the universe provides. So, prosperity, it looks like to me they're wanting you to connect with everything that's on earth that you feel is prosperous. 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 No, you can't say that word. So, anyway, everything that is good in your life, they're wanting you to connect with it and enjoy it. And even the little things in life that you enjoy, you have heat, you have light, you have a computer. Enjoy and think about how prosperous you are having these things in your life, and look at it very positively that you do have them. So there you go, Starry Night Seeker. Okay, next. Hey, Inkar, any message from my Arcturian family or my Palladian guide? All right, let me see here. Oh, wow. Well, I did a poor job of pulling the cards out in the beginning because they wanted me to pull out of another deck. Let's see what they want me to find it. Yes. Wanted me to pull out of the Palladian Oracle deck. So that's out of this deck that they wanted me to pull out of. So if there's anybody who wants to come on and talk about their experiences, go ahead and let us know. Or if you want to talk about in the chat. All right. The middle here. Okay, let's see what we got. Mother Father Healing. Okay, Mother Father Healing. I'm feeling like this is like the masculine and feminine that you are supposed to do some healing. Look at that. I don't know if it's asking you to balance those two. I don't know if you're leaning more towards the masculine side on my car right now or the feminine. But it's asking you to I'm feeling like it's more the masculine side that you're leaning towards right now, and they're wanting you to bring in the more feminine side. So they're wanting you to balance that. It's a pretty card. Look at that. So you might need to do some work on trying to balance it because it feels like to me you're leaning heavily. I'm feeling like it's more on the masculine side, more business or more, and they're wanting you to get more in touch with your intuition part. Okay. All right. Next. As we heal each other by pure red white. How are you doing? Update. Mars the Gray Hybrid. That is a sign for me. It's doing a great job. I'm sleeping now. Ooh, yay. I'm glad. I'm so glad you are. I'm glad you're getting some sleep. So thanks for letting me know. I appreciate that. And go ahead and check out her YouTube channel. And I forgot to say, check out Juno's YouTube channel. And we got all these other people, Dream Journey One, that have YouTube channels. So go ahead and check all those out. Okay, next. Hey, Right Dragon. What ET species are there from Orion constellation? All of them. Do you want to come on, White Dragon, and talk about your experiences? You don't have to show your face or anything, but it does help other people get comfortable with what they're experiencing. But ETs from the Orion constellation, I'm not sure. It might be easier to name the ones that are not. I can't think of a species that I know of that are not on the Orion constellation, because even if they're from, say, the Palladian area or the Arcturian constellation, it seems like that some migrate to the Orion or have a group somewhere in the Orion constellation. So that Orion constellation is very important and it's very large, but it seems to people seem to migrate there, just like we do on Earth. People migrate from country to country. That seems to be the same with the Orion constellation. But we think mainly that Orion, definitely the Greys. We think about them being from there, and who else? I mean, I'm just thinking that there. I don't think I've not seen any species there. So I hope that helps, white dragon. I didn't really answer that question because there's so many species in that area. Okay, next. Hey, Patty, I had a dream years ago that I was on a spaceship, but don't remember going inside. I was in the waiting area before a door would slide open. Was this a dream? Do you want to come on, Patty, where I can connect a little better? Just say yes or no. You're okay if you don't want to come on, and I'll just look at that a little harder. But it's easier if I hear your voice on something like this about what's going on. So, Patty, if you're interested, just go ahead and email us at allaboutets@gmail.com, and we can bring you on about that. There you go, White Dragon. allaboutets@gmail.com, and we can discuss that a little further. Oh, you don't want to come on, Patty? Okay, that's fine. And I appreciate you answering. So let's go back to her question so I can try to connect to that a little bit more and see what kind of answer I got. But White Dragon looks like he's going to come on. Okay. All right. So, Patty, I had a dream years ago that I was on a spaceship, but don't remember going inside. I was in the waiting area before a door would slide open. Was this a dream? No, that was not a dream. What you were doing, it looks like to me, you were going in for an exam, and you don't remember arriving there because they brought you up into the spaceship. It looks like to me they went down to get you and that you were beamed up. It kind of looks like to me that you were asleep. You were asleep. And this is now why I worry about what I wear to bed at night. Because I'm constantly going up to the spaceship. But anyway, so you were beamed up, and it was you were sitting out in the room where you're getting ready to exam. You've had this done many times before, so you were pretty comfortable with it, knowing that they weren't going to hurt you. But that looks like that's what you were doing, was sitting out there waiting for your turn for exam. And it looks like you even knew the people that were around you, that you've gone up there several times before, and were sitting there chatting with them. So, no, you wouldn't remember going inside because they beamed you up. So, and it wasn't a dream. You were going in for an exam. Okay, Patty. All right, next. Hey, Ricky, may I have a card, please? Okay, well, let's see what they want me to pull for you. They want me to pull your Moon Magic. Okay, Moon Magic deck. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, I dropped them. Okay, look at how pretty these cards are. Look at that. Okay, it says, I enjoy the serenity of life. The unexpected can be wonderful. And this is the blue moon. So, yes, it sounds like you enjoy just the unexpected things happening in your life. And gosh, it looks like to me you are having a lot of unexpected things happening in your life right now. It looks like you're having a pretty good life at the moment. And you're enjoying these new adventures that are coming. Yes, and it looks like to me you're getting new gifts. Oh, that's what it is. You're getting new gifts, and then you haven't expected them, but you're just being so grateful that you're getting these new gifts. Wow, that's wonderful, Ricky. Getting new gifts, that is such a pretty card. But anyway, that's what it is. You're getting new gifts, and you're enjoying every minute of it. Okay, next. Hey, Son of Watt, do I have a message from my Palladian guys? Let me see. Let me pull. I guess I'm going to pull from the Palladian cards. I've got so many cards out here now. I'm going, where are the Palladian cards? There we go. Let's see what your message is. Light technology. Look at that. The light technology was the Palladians are really good at the light technology. And it, we know you're going through a big transition, which is what this is showing. And you, looks like to me, you're finally accepting who you are. And you're accepting this light, you're accepting the light technology. You travel in the light. Well, it's wonderful because it looks like to me you're just going willingly now, and you are a light being that is traveling. That's great, son of what? I think that's the first time I have felt that you have just accepted who you are. Okay, all right, next. Hey, Spirit Watcher Suzanne, I have a blonde golden lab come to me for help in my third eye. Who is this? A god. Let's see what I get out of this. I feel like you know this lab. It looks like to me it came to you because that's what you're comfortable seeing. Let's see what that's all about. It almost looks like to me they were giving you a gift. Spirit Watcher Suzanne, did they bring you something? I'm pulling a card of the Starseed Oracle, and it says big picture thinking. And this lady's energy, visionary, inspired ideas. But what I'm seeing is that, I see it just running right up to you, and it just feels like it was giving a gift. You know what? I've got a dog deck. Let me pull that out. I have a wise dog tarot. I don't use this deck very much, and this seems appropriate. To me, it looks like it had something in its mouth for you, like a stuffed toy or a bone or something. And it's the Strength card. Actually, that's my favorite card in the deck. It's an 8, and that's a great card. Let's see what it's looking at here. It's got a flower blooming. Looks like it's a Boston Terrier. You can see that card. It's the 8. So your Strength card. So what I'm getting there, this lab is so gentle, but it was kind of gracefully opened up your third eye more. But it looks like to me you've got some gifts coming in. Oh, wow. Oh, this is so good. And the Strength card. This is going to strengthen your ability. This is strengthening your third eye. This is strengthening everything for you. And that lab was coming in as a softness for it to be opened. Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. That vision is great. Softness with strength. That is your ability. That is what you're really good at. You have the strength and you approach things with the softness. So good for you, Suzanne. That's great. It's a wonderful vision. So let's see. He sat in front of me and asked for my help. I asked how I could help, and he disappeared. Intently looked at me. I've seen that he's there to ask for your help. There are some ETs that look like dogs. In fact, my dog Moon goes from a dog to a human to a Wookiee. I don't feel like that's it. Spirit Watcher said, do you mind coming on so I can connect to you a little better about this? I think they'll need to banter back and forth a little bit about it so I can get a good feel about that. Do you mind coming on? You don't have to show your face. Was it Gloria? It could be, but do you mind coming on so I can connect a little bit better to that? Because all I saw was opening up your third eye, but then when you talk about it's bringing or was asking for help, I need to connect to that, see what that help was about. But in the meantime, we have White Dragon in the background, so we're going to bring him on. Oh, you don't want to come on, Spirit Watcher Suzanne? Well, then go ahead and email me a little bit more about that, if you can, so I can get a little bit more into that, because right now I'm just not getting the reason why they're asking for help. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and bring on White Dragon.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, thanks for joining us. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm outside right now. So the wife just got home from school and she's yakking it up with her friends.
Okay. All right, well, tell us, what is the latest with you? Because you always have some of the fascinating
Well,
things. What are you working on now?
there's been a lot of stuff happening. I've been connecting a lot with 4D and a lot of 5D. I've been starting to see a lot of more what's happening in the 4D area, like a lot of visitations at night and things like that. And I've been making a pictorial record of things that I see. When I wake up in the middle of the night, I guess my brain must be in some kind of weird state or something. So then, I remember. I go, okay. And if they bother me too much, I tell them, get out.
Yeah.
I gotta sleep.
And let the people know that they can tell them that. You can tell them to leave, get out.
Oh, I've kicked some of them out because no, it's too much.
So people, if you're being bothered while you're sleeping, the White Dragon's trying to tell you that you can ask them to leave. You don't have to agree for them being there. All you have to do is tell them, get out of here, leave. So go ahead, Paul.
What I do every night, I put heavy shields around me so nothing negative can come in.
Right.
If I don't do it, they can because I forget. But usually they don't. So anything that comes in is a positive entity, and sometimes they get rowdy, like the elementals with you and stuff like that. Every now and then, I send you some emails, some crazy emails, and sometimes I go, I better not send this because this sounds stupid crazy. So.
Well, it sounds crazier than what I'm doing, and I would tell you what the elementals have done lately. You really think I'm crazy.
Yeah. So lately, I've been thinking that I've probably flew over the cuckoo's nest. I've had visitation from Moon. Believe it or not, Moon showed up in different shapes, and I told Dr. Gail that, and I made a drawing and I sent it to you. This is how I perceive Moon to be. So.
And Moon is my dog that passed away. Everybody doesn't know who he is.
Yeah. And then I've the main reason why I'm interested to know is because Michael has had me going for over a month over to Solaris every night.
Right.
Go there. Okay. Do I need to go tonight? Yes. Go tonight. Do I need? I'll tell you when to stop. So then he finally said stop. So then he goes, well, you're going to be doing this thing, but it's so fantastical. I don't know what's going on. If you can look and see if it's true, because it's not. It doesn't. It looks very fantastical to me.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing that I'm supposed to be doing next. So I'm still at the Athena. So it's not. I mean, you moved on to a different.
Right. So is Susan. She's still there too. In fact, I was just up there. I'm telling you, I was just up there a couple of days ago, and I wasn't sure why. I know y'all are on the big commission right now. And I was just popping in. Actually, I just was there to help with whatever that mission was. But it's something big right now that y'all are doing.
Yeah, there's three involved. There's me, there's an Arcturian, and there's a Palladian involved.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I don't know if they're generals or whatever. Something related to that. If maybe it's too soon to tell. Something big's happening, but I'm gonna no idea. If I should know consciously, that's fine with me. I don't care. I don't want to know because
I don't think it's been implemented yet because the Athena was only here in Mount Shasta one day. So last time we did this big mission, it was there for like 7 days straight because the Lemurians were helping triage what was going on. So I think right now, it's just in the planning phase.
Yeah, I don't feel it's the same magnitude of what's happened before, but it's still very important.
Right.
So The other thing is, I communicate with Athena.
Hmm.
I can communicate with Athena anytime I want, and you know why? We
Right.
talked about this, and she always shows up to me like a little girl, like 8 or 9 years old, with a nice roughly dress, and the little hat, and the shoes, and the little socks, and the black little shoes, and she talks like a she calls me daddy. I said, okay, how do you feel about this? If it makes you feel good about it, go ahead. I don't care. I don't mind. Daddy. Okay, and shit calling me that. All right, that's very interesting. So sorry about all the shaking. When I shake, I'm outside and the laptop's on my belly. So, uh, so that's basically what's if it's true what they told me, what
Right.
Michael said that I'm supposed to be doing because of the training that I went through. It's maybe it's not the time to tell anybody. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's kind of fantastical, anyways.
Right. Yeah, it is an experience to know that. I think it's fantastic too. You can ask for anything better. But anyway, well, thanks, Susie. I know you had some questions too. So, is there another question out there? Do you want to ask a question before we leave?
Well, how about if I follow up with what I told you before? I mean, it's not much of a story, but it kind of goes with what you just
Yeah, go ahead.
discussed. No, how I've noticed the blankets off of my bed a couple times completely. I asked you about, what was going on, and you can tell everybody what you told me or what comes to you
Yeah,
about it.
it's a gray hybrid that is sneaking her covers off, and they're just pulling down the bottom like this because they're wanting her to go up to the spaceship. And so they're pulling the covers off her, and this is her physical body going up. And I do think this is probably for a physical exam for her just to make sure she's doing okay. But that gray is so cute, trying to sneak those covers off of her without waking her up. So that's what's going on. And it's funny to watch what's happening.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of nice that she's telling us about it. I'd be more than interested to find out some of her adventures because I know she has them.
Oh,
She's
yeah. Yes. And
Susie has plenty of adventures. She's probably very shy, right, Susie?
yeah, and she had great questions too, though. She asked great questions and questions that I'm going, a lot of them I'm going, I don't know.
My nature is to ask a million questions.
Hers too.
If you let me, I'll bore you to death with questions.
I'm
Go
more of
away.
just let me know what you want me to do, and I go for it. And then after that, I'm going, oh, wait a minute, I should have asked that question. So, and then a lot of people are going, or ask me questions, and I go, well, I was in the midst of it. I didn't even think about that. So, um,
Yeah,
anyway, all
yeah.
right.
Before we go, one more thing is that I wanted to pass to you guys. I came across an article with NASA, and NASA has just announced that they have evidence from the Hubble telescope that they can actually see that Betelgeuse, which is one of the top left corner of Orion, not in the belt. There's four, two on top and two on the bottom, and then there's three that go across. That one went supernova. That's the reason why I asked about the ETs that were there.
Oh, okay.
Supernova, well, where are they going to go? I mean, have they gone already? Based on fossil light that we see, it's 560 light years away. So that's like 560 years ago that this happened.
Yeah, actually, if you watch Dolly, she talks about that's what they do is they go around and get people off the planet before something big happens and take them somewhere else.
Yeah.
So that's what their kind of job. Like our spaceship takes care of traumas. Hers goes around and collects them before the big event happens.
Yeah, and the other thing is that the Earth magnetic field is weakening for some reason. It's probably cyclical, and it doesn't have. I know a few years ago they have a satellite that watches this stuff, and it went to zero.
Mhm.
like 4 years ago. It went to zero. If a corona effect would have happened, everything would have been wiped out on Earth. But that went back up after
If
for
we
an
had
hour.
if we had gotten on the scales that day, would we have been lighter?
I don't know, because right
Oh,
now,
that's gravity. That's not the
Right.
electromagnetic.
right now there's a lot of energies coming through our sun that are coming through us right
Mhm.
now that we don't, well, we do feel. But it's just that's the way it is. I'm not afraid like you. Hey, if I gotta go, I gotta go. I will go someplace else. I'm not worrying about it.
Another lifetime somewhere else.
Where it's more fun the other side.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for coming on, White Dragon. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Okay. All right. I think we might have some more questions in here. All right. Bye-bye. So are there any more questions? Before we go, we can take one last question.
I don't see any other questions. I have a
Okay.
question now.
Okay. Oh, boy.
What kind of ET is this?
What is that? It looks like a chicken. Is that your question? Is that? Where did you get that?
At an auction. R2D2.
That's cute. Okay. All right. Thanks everybody for joining us. And this show is to create. Oh, Spirit Watcher Suzanne, I'm seeing that you don't really have any more information. I'll go into that a little bit. I just see that dog, that lab that was in your face was just something a general nature. And I'm not sure about the asking for help. I still can't quite get a hit on why it was asking for help. But anyway, it looks like to me you're just opening up your third eye. And anyway, so I'm sorry I can't give you a full answer on that because I can't connect to why that's happening or why they asked for help. But anyway, that's not what the thing. That's what he's talking about, your chicken thing. All right, everybody, thanks for joining us, and we will see you next. Well, wait a minute, I'm having announcements. Okay, and next Wednesday, Mary will be on, and everybody loves Mary. She'll be back on then, and also Thursday next week, we'll have
Rebecca Hardcastle, right?
Yeah, Rebecca Hardcastle Wright will be on. We'll be talking about her book and all the things she does. She's extremely fascinating. I can't believe everything she does. Is unbelievable how she does in helping the ET world. So anyway, everybody, thanks for joining us, and we will see you later. Bye.